The trouble with these people is that there's an inherent tension in that ego. There's an inherent tension in that philosophy. If you are only driven by your own self-interest, there are some benefits that you are going to be able to accrue on your own. That being said, there are some benefits of living in a society that are impossible to get by your own. You have to have other people help you. And if all you are about is yourself, there becomes a tension when you have to deal with other people to get the things that you want. You know, this we have with crybabies and people who are like super controlling to try and like control the situation to get what they want, right? Like those kinds of people, we know they exist, but they're not nice to be around. Now, what a hero does, or what Joseph Campbell would describe as a hero, is what they do is they willingly kill off the part of themselves that is no longer useful, that won't help them in the next stage of their lives, in order for that part to be reborn as something better, as something improved, as something fit for purpose for the next stage of their lives. And on a societal level, this happens continuously, right? Every day in society, we have people die and we have people be born. And this kind of churning of people affects society on a large level. Like through society, over the course of a society, what you have is ideas that develop and grow and become the dominant idea of how to do things, and then that no longer becomes useful and it ends up dying off, and maybe that dies off with a particular generation or with a new generation that comes in. They sort of bring these new ideas with them. That's how this stuff works on a societal level. Now, usually that sort of source of death comes from that idea that bubbles up. Now, on a personal level, you know, it's the idea of, oh God, I just had a heart attack. I need to change my diet so that I don't have a heart attack again. That change comes from within. It comes from inside you. On a societal level, again, it can come from within. It can be a political revolution, for example, like people rising up and going like, no, we don't want to be governed this way. We're going to be governed a different way. Now that stuff can come externally. Again, from on a personal level, it could be come from a ceremony or a ritual, or people telling you stories of people that never grew up, and so this is how, and they ended up being like kind of lonely and sad. Or, you know, on a societal level, that could be like a war. It could be one society seeing what another society is doing, going like, that's wrong, and then they come in and change everything. So those would be the sort of main examples of that. Now, to actually make the change happen, you have to remove yourself from the situation. You have to remove yourself from anything external, and you have to look at yourself. You have to look at who you are. You have to look at what you are, all the things that motivate you and think about you, and that you think about yourself. And you have to kind of like look deep down, and you have to find that little piece of potential that you have. You have to find this little piece of potential. You have to find it, bring it up. Oh, much like that burp. You have to bring it up, and you have to kind of like develop it and let it happen. Develop it and sort of see where that leads you. Now, a normal hero will bring that out of themselves. A cultural hero can bring that out of society in general. So there's people in society who can help clarify differences between groups, or can and eradicate them, or they can help show groups how much they are the same and bring them together and create change that way. What they tend to do is they discover something new about the society that it didn't know about itself, or it rediscovers something that we forgot about. It rediscovers an element of who we are, and brings that out and helps us all deal with that sort of thing. Cool. Got it? So what have we learned? We've learned there are two main kinds of stories. There are personal stories that affect me as an individual, and there are unpersonal stories that affect us as a community. Those are the kind of two kinds of stories. And all of these stories, whether they're personal or unpersonal, they sort of display problems or things that need changing, and they provide solutions to those problems and ways to reach those solutions. That's pretty much what all stories are for. Every story has a hero, which is the object of the change that needs to happen. And they battle past either their personal limitations or societal limitations in order to find the solution for the change and develop find solutions to the change and bring that lesson back for everyone's benefit. And there's different kinds of people. Some people need to go on that journey for themselves. Other people need to receive those ideas and that move to change from the outside, from society at large. Is there a good way and a bad way? No, they're both about the same. They both achieve the same goal. It's all about the individual and whatever it is they need to get past to the next step. Whether that comes from ritual or that comes from their own personal journey, doesn't matter. What matters is that they change and develop and grow. Yeah. So that's it. So that's what I got for today. That is the myth and the dream. If you managed to make it to the end, thank you very much. I'd recommend go out and buy the book Hero of 1,000 Faces. Go and get it, and then go and read that chapter, or watch this again and then read the chapter again. There's a lot of stuff that I do cover, but there's a ton of poetry and extra info in there that I just don't have time to put into these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with Chapter 2, Tragedy and Comedy. Peace. So, that's so stupid.